Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the Eat Denver edition of Deeping Dive into Web3. I am Laksh Mittal joining live from India and I am the business lead of Recorem. At Recorem, we help companies hire top passive talent through exclusive communities and events. We today have here Mohit who represents Dapps and I'll be giving him the stage as of now to let him tell us about what actually Dapps does, what actually Dapp has in offer for you guys for this 2023 and ahead, and what actually Mohit is doing. So let's start with that. Hi Mohit, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, and thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It's really an honor
Right.
to be here, and really excited to chat with you guys about. I have personally been in the crypto space since 2013,
Okay.
and I've seen a lot of ups and downs. And at that point of time, that was the first time that I had mined my Bitcoin, and then we launched India's first Ethereum exchange in 2016. We got gold and silver to blockchain with Oro Pocket, which is tokenized assets in 2019, 2020. Then we
Right.
created Uniform, a group staking protocol allowing 100 plus projects to participate in innovative farming solutions where you could stake just one token and get five tokens as rewards. And finally,
Okay.
we are seeing the adoption problem in Web3 using dApps.
Okay.
So, you know, um, blockchain is an amazing technology, right? But it's limited by scope that only a few people have access to it. And that's
Okay.
because what people are used to is if they need something, they tap a button on their phone and an application opens up. However, in Web3, it's a nine-step process. Like you have to download MetaMask, configure it, go on an exchange, buy some gas tokens after completing the KYC, transfer the gas tokens to MetaMask, then look for that application and connect to it. So we want to basically remove the barrier to entry for the users and make it absolutely seamless for them to adopt any Web3 application. See,
Hmm.
the idea is that blockchain should become invisible to the users, much like internet is invisible to us as we are recording this podcast.
That's
Right?
a
We
nice
don't
analogy.
know how the internet behind this application works. All we care about is creating value for one another. And
Right.
that's the point that Web3 should arrive at. That people shouldn't care on what chain that they are or how to access it. It should be seamless available at a click of a button on their phone, on their desktops, and it should be still completely decentralized. They should hold their private keys in a convenient manner. And that's what we have created. On top of it, we have enabled new categories of apps to be created. And
Correct.
I'm deep dive on that a little later, but happy to take up any questions that you might have.
Right. So, Mohit, like first of all, like the analogy that you put in, where where you said that internet is invisible to us, and that's where you have to portray blockchain as well, so that it becomes something which is seamless. Okay, something which is on a daily user friendly. Okay, as well as invisible to each and everyone, but still it acts as a very big impact to our life. Correct. And I
Yes.
somewhere feel this is a thing, this is a thought which hasn't come around in all the podcasts I've done in the last 3 4 6 months, right? This is like one of the most newest ones, so like thanks for that first of all. Secondly, moving ahead, why don't you tell us about like what actually fascinates about you about the whole blockchain space? What makes you stick around to the space and believe, like makes you believe in the space?
So, when I started my journey, I actually had started with a white paper first before exploring the software of Bitcoin Core. And I was
Okay.
completely fascinated by it. That how is it that without any central body or any one computer telling you what to do, you are able to execute actions. And that
Okay.
I was pursuing my computers engineering then, and that completely blew my mind. And it just sounded too good to be true. I knew there had
Okay.
to be a flaw in it, right? And being in that college zone space, you have to find flaws in everything. So I started deep diving into the software, right? I tried my best to hack it. Trust me, like for around 2 weeks, I wasn't doing anything else but just playing with Bitcoin Core and not even attending my classes. And that's
Okay.
when I realized every time I hit a bottleneck, it actually showed me an error message, and that actually means a lot because that means
Okay.
they accounted for every possibility. So it completely fascinated me. Then Ethereum came along, allowing developers across the world to create smart contracts and somehow now utilize this blockchain technology to be completely decentralized across various applications. So the fact that we as consumers are not just consuming things but also owning them is something that really fascinates me. The fact that we don't have to rely on any tech giants, and our data doesn't have to be invaded, privacy doesn't have to be violated. The fact that we are in control as a democratic society, that really
Right.
fascinates me.
Oh, I actually, I certainly feel that, that white paper for Bitcoin that was there has actually impacted a lot of lives, because, like, a lot of people as well, and that has actually made people stick around. Okay, because yesterday I was having a conversation with another founder in the Web3 space, and he was like, that was the first time that he encountered Web3 because he read the Bitcoin, Bitcoin white paper, and that is what made him think that, why distribution, why decentralization, why having that concept as well can actually bring in more impact and, how should I say it, solution to the society as well, right?
Agreed. Couldn't agree more.
Exactly. But with that, let's start with how did dApps come into place? Okay, what or like, what was that one thing that made you think that this is the solution I want to build in the Web3 space?
Oh, I wish it was just one thing. It was just culmination of so many things. So, last
Okay.
year we were, so about 100 plus startups were our client, including Polygon, Reef, Paid Network, Plotex, and, EasyFi, you name it. The who's who of the space were already our clients. And that means that we were in touch with their founders, right?
Okay.
When every time we spoke to the founders, we were hitting the same bottleneck when we were asking them what is their success metric. Because either that used to be a vanity metric that followers should increase, or it used to be a bottleneck that they are not able to get retention on their platform. They're not able to get
Right.
new users, right? And we basically tried to solve that set of the problem. We tried to make it convenient for users to access these applications, at the same time empowering developers with the necessary tools to make adoption happen. Like, for example, communication right now in Web3 is broken. So dApps gives them a communication layer, allowing them to send notifications to their subscribers or their users. What that does is, let's say if I'm an NFT creator, and I have my NFT, 1,000 NFT with 1,000 people, the next time I'm launching an NFT, I can actually reach out one to one to all those 1,000 people that are already holding my NFT, because they're
Right.
most likely to buy my NFTs again, right? This one-on-one communication was not possible until now, and we've made that possible. We're also working on commerce. We're working on identity and several other solutions that developers might need to make the
Correct.
experience. I'll take another example. Let's say if I go on Google and search for Apple, and my younger sister goes on Google and searches for Apple. Both of us are going to get very different results that are personalized to us. See, in
Okay.
this world that we live in, personalization is very important, because that
Mm-hmm.
makes an experience better. Personalization in Web3 right now is not possible because there is no way to identify a user. All you have are a randomly generated wallet address. So what we have
Correct.
done is we've created an identity layer allowing developers to personalize the data based on the user behavior within dApps protocol.
Amazing.
And allows us to display the right kind of messaging, the right kind of features to a particular user. Let's say if there was a job board on Web3, right? And
Okay.
let's say I was applying for a job, and you were the one that wanted to hire somebody, right? Now both of us need different kind of dashboards to be seen, right?
Correct. Correct.
One option is that we log into the application and then search for recruiter or search for trying to apply for a job, or the other is you personalize it automatically, and this
Right.
capability is being allowed by dApps. So dApps is working on various layers to make this possible.
Amazing. So I see there are, like, your problem, like, you're solving simple problems, which might be like a day, but these are things which are needed by everyone. Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
At least that's what we hope.
No, I'm actually see, it's basically, there are lots of times that we feel, okay, this is very simple, but why can't we do it? Right? And there is again, out of nowhere, this startup comes and they're like, we'll solve it out for you. Okay, and I guess that's what dApps is coming into. Okay, communication is definitely one of those things. The identification management thing that you told is another. So definitely, I think where dApps is currently heading towards, okay, what you guys are trying to build in infrastructures, I guess it's more of infrastructure, correct? It's more on building the core foundation of blockchain, right? So
Correct.
somewhere, that's where I see, like, dApps making a strong hold, okay, and trying to establish a core structure around it. Correct. So with that, what do you think? Like currently, Dapps is ready to offer to its community and like to its customers. It's like it's the people they want to like you guys want to work with. If you have any demo or if you want to share screen, show us anything around that. I would love to have that.
So right now we are on our second testnet. The first testnet
Okay.
was called Inception. The second is called Genesis,
Are you
and
sharing your screen?
I'm just trying to. It's
Yes.
uh,
Just give us a moment. As soon as you share your screen, just let us know. We'll put it on
yeah.
the yeah.
Yep. So we are now on our second testnet. This is called Genesis, and in about 2 weeks' time, we'll be moving to the third testnet, which is called Maktu. Now,
Wow.
right now in this testnet, we have enabled two features, which is one discoverability. So you can come here and discover any Web3 application that you like the most, and you can
Okay.
subscribe. And then they can start sending you notifications, and you can be notified about it. Like for example, let's say if you subscribe to a lending protocol, then
Hmm.
before your loan gets collateral liquidated, you will be notified that if you provide additional collateral, then you can save it from liquidation, which is currently not possible, right? So
Correct.
scope basically keeps on increasing. So the communication layer and the discovery layer is completely live. And by the way, dApps is neutral to any infrastructure. So it doesn't matter whether developers are building it on Polygon or Shardium or Fire or even Bitcoin network, because this is at a protocol level and neutral to any kind of chain or any kind of infrastructure that exists. It can be plugged
Correct.
in any solution, right? The next thing that we are working on exploring is the identity layer, which we'll be releasing in our Maktub release, allowing people to buy their own domains at .punk and .nft and a couple of other domains that we're working with, and be able to customize their identity from there. So, for example, you have Aadhaar based verification in India, right? The same
Correct.
would be
Correct.
possible to individual NFT holders without violating their privacy. Like, for example, an application wouldn't be able to ask you for your Aadhaar number or your name, but it'll be able to
Okay.
ask you NFT whether the situations are correct or not. For example, whether Lakshay is over 18 or not, whether Lakshay
Okay.
belongs to India or not, whether Lakshay is male, female or not, right? So
Okay.
that way you will be able to personalize the content to your needs. And that's
Correct.
what we hope to see in Maktub release in about 2 weeks' time.
Wow, wow, wow. So it's basically like we're trying to provide essential data with just free, like at certain checkpoints that will become more easier for people and the community to look into where to go ahead, work with, or approach. Correct.
Correct, correct. One
Okay.
of the other
Amazing.
key features of this release is called unstoppable messaging. See,
Hmm.
messaging itself is very core to human essence, right? And what
Okay.
we have done is via this, you can message anybody on chain. And that message
Okay.
is not just completely encrypted, but it is unstoppable in nature, which means that no government body, nobody can essentially stop anybody from messaging anybody, right?
Right.
WhatsApp says that it is end-to-end encrypted, yet we know that governments and other bodies are reading our messages. Here, that's completely not possible. So just by
Right.
knowing
Right.
like, your wallet address, I'll be able to communicate with you on chain. And the way that the encryption works is that the message itself gets encrypted with my private key and your public key, and then gets
Wow.
stored on chain. So while anybody can see the encrypted message on chain, the only person that can decrypt it is you because you're holding your private keys. And while it
Correct.
is
Correct.
decentralized open source, it's essentially unstoppable in nature.
This is um, like out of bounds, like an amazing like tool, I guess, because the communication factor that comes in, okay, having that engagement with your community, with your partners, okay, people you're involved with, is basically something which is very very important as of now. Okay, and I certainly feel that this particular feature can actually bring in a lot of effect in how actually communication runs in the whole Web3 ecosystem. Okay, and preferably if it's on the blockchain, it's more like how should I say it, more secure, I'll say, in per se. Okay, more encrypted, if I'm not wrong, if I'm using the correct terminology.
Yes, secured and inclusive. See, right
Okay.
now, WhatsApp or Telegram have the capability to block you at any point of time, right? Here, nobody can ever block you. Nobody can ever stop
Hmm.
you from getting with
Right.
another human. Because it's an open source protocol. So let's say if the government comes to us and goes all like that, you should ban Lakshya's account. So we will not
I wish
we
that
won't
happens.
I hope that never happens. Yeah, we have dealt with government agencies, when we were running ethics, and it's
Okay.
just painful. So we won't say that we won't block Lakshya's account. We'll simply
Okay.
say that we, because we don't have the technical capability. It's an open source protocol, and nobody can stop that, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's completely encrypted. On top of it, when we were beginning this conversation, we were talking about making Web3 seamless. So here you
Right.
can actually log in via either Twitter or Gmail, or of course any of the wallets, and this is again completely decentralized, which means if you're
Okay.
logging in Gmail, an identity is getting created for you where you are controlling your private keys, right, without even knowing it. So
Correct. Correct.
it doesn't even require a server, in fact. It can happen within your own browser, it can happen on dapps.co, and you can actually download the repo and host it wherever you want because this is open source.
Correct.
So this is bringing additional seamlessness because if you remove that barrier to entry as MetaMask first or wallet first, you get a new set of users who start using the application.
Correct. Correct. Understood. No, no. This is totally really great. Anything else you would want to share? Like anything the community
Oh,
should
yeah.
know about, or how should they become a part of your community? Let's go with that.
First is please do come to dapps.co and try it out. We'd love to get your feedback. In fact, when you check out Dapps, on the right side, there is a feature request section. If you see anything broken, if you see anything missing, do try it out. And now I'd like to focus on the future of Dapps.
Okay.
See, right now, Web3 is limited by scope to DeFi and NFT applications, right?
Okay.
Let's say if I wanted to create Instagram on Web3, right,
Hmm.
or Twitter on Web3. See, every time any user likes a picture, MetaMask is
Correct.
going to
Correct.
open and you have to approve that transaction,
Right.
right?
Right.
Which is highly inconvenient because in a 5-minute window that I use Instagram, I probably like 10 pictures, and I can't
Right.
expect 10 times MetaMask to open up and I'm approving it. That's a barrier
Right.
to entry for me as a user. The technology that we have now developed, which is completely again decentralized, would
Mm-hmm.
allow developers to create more user interactive application without approval. So what that means
Okay.
is if Instagram gets created on dapps.co, then
Correct.
once you have installed the app and given it permissions, then you can run any transaction and you wouldn't have to
Okay.
approve it on MetaMask. So you can like your
Okay.
friends, you can comment, you can create your own, images and posts and all of that completely seamlessly. Web3 is working at the back end. You wouldn't even see it. It's completely transparent to you, and that's what we are trying to arrive at. That means newer category of applications which are social in nature, which are more interactive in nature, newer kind of games which requires a lot of user interference, right? So that is what we as a company as well as we as an ecosystem are moving towards.
Amazing, amazing. And what do you think is there for dApps in the 2023 coming in? Because we're already 1 month down, correct? We have a good bunch of the year waiting ahead for us. So what are your future plans, future projections? Where can the community expect to you know uh, have or get out of dApps in the coming future?
So we have one testnet release planned per month. So that
Okay.
means 12 testnets going live in 2023, and a lot of features coming along, a lot of empowerment getting to communities to be able to explore various kind of newer set of applications. Of course, we've launched our own grants program as well, and by the end of this year, we'll have an ecosystem fund which will empower developers to apply and get funded, get grants from us as well as our partners, the chains and the infrastructure providers that we are working with. So that is what developers can expect from us, right? The set of tools as well as the capabilities to explore those set of tools, whether it's funding, whether that's connections, whether that's recruitment with your help, you being one of our partners. And at the same time, for users, they can expect more applications to come to Web3
Right.
and
Right.
expect to make it a part of their daily behavior.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's super amazing. So, Mohit, any last thoughts, any opinions, or any okay, something is a learning which has stuck around for you, which you think the community or the people listening to this should know about. Any message that you would want to convey? Anything?
At times when the market turns, our faith in technology starts to fade because we see the likes of FTX and everybody crashing. I
Right.
just
Right.
want to tell the audience at large, especially various companies, one, don't be scared. Second, shit happens. And this technology, you are better than that, right? So
Right.
don't worry. This is going to happen. again, in a couple of years, because it's a cyclical thing. And the next time around that you stick around for it, you'll see that this is far less painful. Have no fears, just keep on building and keep on exploring, because this is here to stay.
Okay, okay. Like, thank you so much for this, Mohit. Thank you for taking out time for, coming to our Eat Denver edition. Okay, we really, really hope that, like the value that DApps is adding currently as of now, it continues to do that and brings in more and more such features that can help the ecosystem grow and keep that trust in. Because, like you mentioned, there's definitely that, slight trust factor that comes in when things go down or things go south, correct, and people tend to leave the industry very soon, correct, and that's where I would want to encourage people to not just focus towards where the markets are running, but also want to focus on like products which or teams which are actually trying to build some hardcore solutions for societal impact or for better use cases, right? And that is where first of all, again, Mohit, thank you for taking your time, and we really loved having you here. Very insightful conversation with you. Some good pointers which I think I can take back from today. Firstly, the analogy part that you made between internet and blockchain. Second, how Dapps is currently doing like solving solutions and making communication and other kind of features. And thirdly, what basically Dapps has in in basically a few in future for its community and ecosystem. So thanks for that.
Thank you so much. This was once again a wonderful opportunity. You have been a flawless host. It's a complete honor to be here and have a lot of fun at Eat Denver, and enjoy.
No, definitely. We are actually hoping to rock the space over there. We have a side event that's running there,
Nice.
and we'd love to see more and more people, joining us and getting to know more about the US ecosystem as well, because that's a little different as much as I have seen in terms of what we have here in the Asia Pacific area. Correct. So let's
Correct.
hope what happens there.
Absolutely. All the best, man. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Mohit. It was fun having you here.
Take care.